5.
Waiting for Strictly Broken. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Oh, I think we're live. Oh, but I think chat's broken. Okay, I don't think we can do on-stream chat. Unfortunate.
Is there anybody out there?
All right, yeah, I don't think
I don't
on-stream
know the
chat's
rest of
gonna
the
work.
lyrics.
All right, hello everybody. Welcome to another game of the WS Invitationals. My name is Simu Wang. I'll be your host tonight on Strictly Broken TCG. Thanks for letting us use their platform tonight for this game. Yeah, so before we get started, why don't my co-host commentator please introduce himself?
Hey guys, it's Wibbs, the last remaining Canadian in this silly tournament. Yeah.
All right, yeah, it's a pleasure to be casting this with you. So yeah, before we start, just letting chat know if the volume is any kind of like wonky, just let us know in chat. We can just adjust it on the fly. Okay, so this will be round. This is I believe elimination round.
This
Between
is elimination round 4.
round 4.
Yeah.
Okay, between Sven and Christian Yarbacher. All right, and we can just get started with the game here.
Bad recording.
Let's start. So unfortunately, guys,
Go ahead and shuffle these.
Okay. So unfortunately, guys, this match was already played, and what we're watching is we're live streaming like a pre-recorded VOD of it. I already know the results of this, so I'll try to be as genuine as possible. Simu, you don't know the results of the game, right?
I don't actually. Yeah.
All right, that's good. We'll get some genuine live commentary from you.
I guess.
Yeah, for sure. So this is gonna be a matchup between SAO and ReZero. So I guess Ryan, what side of this matchup have you been on? Like when you had like which side are you more familiar with?
I'm more familiar with the south side actually.
Okay.
Funny enough.
Good luck.
Are you a ReZero player?
I do play ReZero. Never really owned the meta cards because back when they were good, they were really expensive. But I'm familiar with how the deck works. Would you say that there's any matchup, like any player here that has like an obvious advantage, or is it pretty even?
Well, in terms of the sets or in terms of the decks, because I think the answer is slightly different.
Ooh, okay. I mean, let's hear both. Let's hear both then. Let's start with the set.
If we're just talking about the sets, I think it's a bit more even. Like slightly ReZero favored at worst, maybe like 60-40, 55-45 for ReZero.
You know the cards, or should I explain them?
SAO has ways to deal with the Priscilla tap counter, which is one of ReZero's, or at least this version of ReZero's greatest strengths. That's what they're always trying to play towards, and they have ways to deal with the double early play, quote unquote, of the Felt refresh into the Rem early plays without little trouble. But then the issue arises with how Sven built his deck for this tournament.
Okay, well, please elaborate.
So I casted Sven's game, I think last week, where we played Carmen, and I made, or with Jack from 36 Cancel, shoutouts to those guys, check them out, great content. I made the note when we were playing or watching that game, Sven's list doesn't have outs to early plays.
Really?
Yeah. So if you look at his level 2 lineup really quick, he has one copy of the Machine of Ice Xenon, which is really good for this matchup. It'll stop the Priscilla tap counter. So that's good. And then he's running 2 copies of the Adventure with Everyone Xenon, which is like the beater that beats or attacks in the level 3s are really huge.
Right.
So he has cards that deal with the early plays, quote unquote. Like he can play a 2-1 Xenon, give it anti-backup, and then swing into them. But that doesn't actually deal with the ReZero early plays, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I do. Actually, it's quite interesting. This Xenon
1500
doesn't have your traditional like plus 6k against level 3s. It gets 1k for Avatar Net, so it's actually 5k maximum, right? Yeah, so that's actually smaller than most, like smaller than most anti level 3s.
The size doesn't really matter on the Xenon is the thing, because he has the 2-1. It's like what I think we're gonna see Sven do actually is he's gonna prioritize Sculpt with the Yuki combo, the 2-1 Xenon and the 2-1 back row. Because you give the 2/1 Xenon anti-backup and it's guaranteed to kill something.
Oh,
or
that's
kill one
true.
of
That's
Chris's
true
early
with the
plays.
anti-backup, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but again, the issue arises, and it was the same issue against Sunshine. Like, you deal with it, but it's not actually removing it from the game. So like,
Right.
and knowing Chris, he's just gonna pay 3 encore it, and then we're in the same situation all over again in South. Because of due to how Sven decided to build his deck for the tournament, I think the matchup becomes a bit more favored for ReZero, more like hedging towards like 70-30, 75-25.
Well, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, have you played against ReZero that snowballs?
Like, I mean, yes. Okay. I think for this Shinon, it's actually, I don't think it's that bad. But I think it's actually like markedly worse against Sunshine, just because they have the field encore. But if Chris wants to save his level 3s, he'll actually have to pay like meaningful resources to save it. Usually like a pay 3 encore. Whereas like Sunshine literally just like, you know, drops a card. It's like a hand encore basically.
Yeah, like that is true, but then like you have to also consider the fact that one of the early plays is the Felt, and Felt will always be stock charging you from the deck. So like pay 3 doesn't really matter all that much unless the game goes super fast. So that's why I was saying I think Chris is like A-okay with a pay 3 encore.
I see. One thing I want to bring up in this matchup is actually the one copy of Reinhardt that Christian plays. So I've had the privilege of casting one of Christian, or not casting, I had the privilege of watching one of Christian's other games, and I've noticed that he doesn't really prioritize this Reinhardt at all. Do you think this Reinhardt is going to be seen play in this best of 3, or do you think it'll
not
be
at
on
all.
the sideline? Not at all? Yeah.
Not at all. Like, you play the Reinhardt in the matchups where your early plays get outed, or you have an honor versus top end that you're trying to dodge. Those are like the only two situations where Reinhardt's good, and SAO doesn't either of them, based on how Sven's built the deck. So there's no point to go for it. You just go for the double early play, really strong game plan.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that sounds about right. And I mean, ReZero's perfectly happy to do that. They play a very consistent, very safe, and very, just like a steady game plan. So it's pretty good. And it looks like Christian here has one combo, so not the best.
We haven't even talked about the game yet. Oh my god.
No,
they
I mean,
both mulliganed 3. It was pretty standard openers. Chris hit 1 first because he rickied. Yeah.
I mean, the level 0 was pretty standard. I think nothing unusual.
I guess like one thing to take a note of is that Sven triggered book on first attack. So like that's something we might want to track, might want to track to see if he actually pays it out. Because maybe he doesn't pay it out and that bites him later on in the game. We'll have to see.
I imagine he'd probably pay it out. There's a lot of tools he has to pay out. I think Drop Surge. Does he have? Oh, yeah, Drop Surge, Amagi, Brainstorm.
4-3.
Although that's one Brainstorm that he's losing here.
Cancel on 3. It's pretty good.
My turn?
If Sven's hand is okay, things are looking pretty good. He only mulled 3. He hit the book trigger, so he's at 7 hand right now. It should be a decent hand, I would hope, for Sven.
Yeah, I mean, he really only needs one Yuki here, just to be able to go through the deck, and then also beat over the Amelia. Because the rest of Yarbocker's board is pretty small, and so like
actually, even just like a Magi clean cut Yuki is like a pretty devastating turn for Chris.
Yeah, honestly. That would be really good, I think. Actually, I noticed that Sven is playing 2 copies of the, what's this card? The SAO Survivor Asuna and Kirito, which gives 1k to your opponent's cards. Okay, that's definitely not.
Sven? Sven?
Interesting.
That is not a good turn.
Okay, I think he's just gonna slam a book.
Good thing my level 1 was.
Wait, that is not a book.
So he didn't even pay out the book that I was.
How does he not have a Yuki?
About. Oh my god.
What? Okay. How does he have the bar and not the Yuki? This doesn't make any sense to me.
He's grabbing the clean cut. Okay. Oh my god.
Wait, what's happening? I'm so confused.
These are 1,500 each. They can get 500 on a reverse, right?
Yeah. That Amelia's not gonna die. That's like so much value.
I'll front here, 3k.
Another book. Oh my god! I did hear from the backlines that these games were clown fiestas, but I wasn't expecting this.
3k.
I wasn't prepared for this. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this looks really bad for SAO here.
I'll side here for 1.
Okay, there's the Yuki. So side.
Yeah.
What do you think about siding on first deck? I actually really don't like siding on first deck.
He might just want the mill on the runner. He might want to just have another card on board to soak damage. I think those are both perfectly fine options.
That's true.
That was the center right?
Yeah.
Like Chris was at
Oh.
1-2 there.
He's actually
like
can't kill.
The extra soul isn't going to like push him over the edge to like level or anything, so it's not really doing anything besides throwing the card away. I think the side there is perfectly fine.
I think the side there is good if he wants the mill. But as far as like, because we know that Christian's going to be dropping the climax, and like, I mean, it depends on. I guess he triggered 2 books, huh? Okay, never mind.
Yeah, the top 2 cards of his talk are books.
Yeah, that's actually not that good. Yeah, I think siding is fine here.
Yeah.
Usually, if you trigger clean, you would actually want to front, because if Christian plays a book, then he's swinging direct for 3, and if your triggers are clean, you have a good chance of canceling. So. Obviously, that's not the case this game.
I mean, it is still first deck, right? So it's like not always like the best thing to bank on. Keeping bodies on board makes it so he's gonna be going 2-2-2. Wait, Sven's countering over it.
Wait, that counters over? Oh wait, that's a stock soul. Oh my gosh, that's a stock soul.
No, I'm also 2K. Yeah, so
man.
5K. I don't know if I'm a fan of countering there.
He didn't counter over. He countered a tie.
Tie, yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's like way too far behind to counter the tie here.
I would never counter the tie. Like I actually, like especially at level 1, I think it's just like so. It's like so bad most of the time, just to counter the tie.
Sven's looking pretty bad right now.
Wait,
Christian looks like he's in a great spot.
Wait, that runner's smaller?
I don't know if Chris has the hand for the arming condition.
Oh, it's the hand condition? Ooh.
Yeah.
It is smaller. That's pretty interesting.
Should be hand condition.
I'm actually
double check.
Kind of surprised.
Yeah, 5 more hand.
Wait, I'm kind of surprised he didn't use the Betty to at least tie there.
So.
Oh, did he split the?
He did. No. He did use the Betty to tie. So Amelia's 1500 base. So by when
he did use the Betty
tied
to
the
tie.
1-0 Amelia, he Betty pumped to the center, so that's why she was 2K.
He 3 stocks the runner.
Yeah, I think that was the only way to pay out the 2 books in there.
Well, there's still a book. He hasn't paid out the second one yet.
A book.
Wow.
SAO, he should have a way to pay 1 stock.
I mean, he better.
He's expecting. I think he's also expecting to draw climax here, so he has a Magi to pay it out.
1 book.
I mean, that's still 1 fewer climax going back, right? If he Magi's here.
How many cards in deck?
Should be 9, I think.
Wait, never mind. He has 9. Oh no, that's Christian's deck. Never mind. Okay, 9 cards.
Yeah. This game's looking pretty sad for Sven. I don't want to call it here, but this game almost feels like it's over already.
I mean, does Sal have any good comeback mechanics? I don't think so, right?
4 cards.
I mean, Xenon does 7 damage. That's a comeback mechanic.
Yeah, but like nothing at level 2. I guess Xenon does kind of stabilize at level 3, but like not to the extent that you'd want. And if you somehow like lose a Xenon, you're like actually so screwed because she goes to memory and you're not gonna get her back. Because like usually what I would consider like stabilizing at 3 would be like playing fat healers at 3 and then just like kind of letting them soak up board. Usually like your opponent, if your opponent's ahead in damage, they have to crash.
Yep.
And then maybe they only get 1 reverse and then you can just like always like either 3 stock encore it or like salvage it back or something. But I don't think Xenon really stabilizes that well compared to like other level 3s.
No, not really. But like the Leafa and the Yui that SAO runs sort of fulfills those roles as well. So if you don't need the heal, you can try to bank on those. Like you bank on the Leafa to win board, or you bank on the Yui for damage stress. That way it tries to chip you.
That's true.
Then the chips are less effective, or quote unquote less effective.
Yeah, actually, really like this play here. Sven plays the 0/0 Asana to shuffle cards back to his deck, so that if he has a climax, as we suppose he does, he can pay 1, check 1 for the Magi, and still have that climax go back in.
Yeah,
that's actually super good. And he'll and assuming that the rest of his deck is clean here, he'll also be able to pay to mill run the last card. Wait, is he gonna Yuki combo?
There's no reason to play the Yuki if you aren't gonna do the bar combo. So I think maybe his line of thought was that he shuffled the two cards he wanted back into his deck. Then he's gonna search them immediately.
Okay, yeah.
So I think he shuffled back the Yumi stock swap, and then I didn't see the other card there.
Okay.
But he
actually,
was definitely Yumi.
Yeah. If you're doing this though, I would go. Yeah, 2 deep. So then you trigger 2 clean, and then do the Yuki search on the fresh deck. Yeah, I like this play here. It's really good.
Off front here, 75.
It's not like a great play, but it's a lot better than what he could have done.
This is basically the best play he can do this turn.
Yes. Try to get second deck compression since you're so far behind. And
this actually gives him this gives him the best compression he could possibly have at this point.
Cancel on 1.
Yeah.
Do you want to know anything
cancels? Spence refreshing. Let's see how much.
Machine
1, 2,
of Ice.
3.
Machine of Ice.
4. With a 2, 1, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, Spence refreshing
so
7.
7 back.
So
not bad.
So I think what we're gonna see the Yuki is, or I think what we're going to see is what I was talking about earlier. Sven's gonna immediately search out both 2-1s to like prepare himself for Chris's free fresh into early play. I think Chris should have one more cancel in his deck, so he might be able to get the free fresh off depending on where that cancel is.
5,
Right.
7, yes.
What are your thoughts on people riffle shuffling their decks like that? Or riffle bridge? Is it called bridge?
Yeah, the bridge. It breaks my heart.
You want to know anything else?
You're 6 out.
All right, like Wise cardboard is not like amazing quality cardboard, right? Those things bend like so easily, so I think it's really important to be careful.
I think my heart drops every time someone does that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stock sold it.
Yeah, I think Yabi has one more cancel left unless he's holding a second stop soul, which he might be since he played one. Because like knowing how Yabi plays, I don't think he would slam a stop soul there unless he has another one in his hand. He's always trying to set up for the free fresh. No matter what the cost is.
Yeah, I mean the free fresh is so strong, right? Like it
is very, especially in a matchup where it can't be dealt with. It's extremely powerful.
I can anti-change your Yukis, not anymore, but like theoretically.
The anti-change counter is like
left, right.
Basically the only thing that ReZero really has to worry about on their attacking turn. And if you don't pack it, then they can just have their will on the board at that place.
Yeah, he's going for the Yuki combo. Let's see if he grabs the double 2-1. I think he will grab the double 2-1 here. If he doesn't grab the double 2-1, I think he might be grabbing a Xenon and then another level 0 Asuna. Lifa. Okay, I'm already wrong.
Oh yeah, okay. I would like to address the bridge shuffling point. There are other equivalent shuffling methods. For example, Pharaoh. It's a little hard to do, so I think that's something that like players would need to like learn and like practice and stuff like that. But like Pharaoh is like mathematically speaking, there are other like equally valid alternatives. You don't have to do that all the time.
Waterfall shuffle is a bridge shuffle. You just do it in a different way, or like it's doing the same thing, so it's still like a legit way to shuffle
if you do it correctly. Yeah, I mean the thing when I see players mash is that like the mash isn't really that correct.
And that
like,
is for 4.
They like yeah.
Cancel on 1.
I mean this is not the time to talk about shuffling methods, but I just wanted to address that really quickly. There are other good shuffling methods, like Pharaoh.
So Yabi top cancels. You think he's gonna clock? I think he's gonna. If he has a stock soul, he definitely clocks you, right?
Do you think so?
I think so, yeah.
Because
getting the free fresh off is more important than the clock compression.
That's 6 clock compression. Well, actually, if he gets both. Wait, actually, but he doesn't get the rem heal if he does this though. Or like the rem heal is like less good.
I mean, it's still gonna snowball. So we also just saw Sven do the Yuki search. So Sven actually went back with both of the 2 or all 3 2-1s, I guess I should say. Like Yabi was actually counting them on their refresh, and we saw Sven not actually search them. So Yabi knows that Sven doesn't have any way to deal with the early plays. So I think he's just gonna go all in on them and try to snowball the game.
He's getting another 2-1
refresh back. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Like
really,
there's no point to get a counter because if he's beating over you, it's going to be with the 2-1 anti-backup. So the counter doesn't really do anything here. So you get another 2-1, and then you try to set up another free fresh for when in like the next turn or two.
I mean, he could just play the 2-1 Shinon without the Machine of Ice.
Right, but Yabi knows he doesn't have it right now.
Well. There's 2 copies of the 2-1 Shinon and 1 copy of Machine of Ice. It's like much more likely that if Sven decides to go for any of those cards, he would be able to get the 2-1 Shinon. Sans Machine of Ice. I think getting the counter is probably just like more.
Wait, Yabi might not. Yabi might not have a 2-1 support
right,
though.
Left, center.
Right. He leveled one. I think he refreshed the second one since he only plays 2. Right.
Okay. If he doesn't have the 2-1 support, then yeah.
Then the counter won't do anything.
Correct. You're right. Yeah.
Okay.
He needs a 2-1 support for the counter to be relevant.
Yep.
How many cards in hand?
Then he's gonna just drop a Rem here without the heal. And I think he's thinking about dropping a Rem right now. But I guess while they think, because they're both slow players, what do you think of what Sven sculpted last turn? Leafa plus the South Survivor back row. What do you think that means?
No heal.
I think he might be scared that he would just get hit to 3 here. I don't think he feels very confident in canceling too much damage, and I think he's expecting to be either at level 3 or like maybe 2-6, and his hand's not that great. So if he's at 2-6, I think he would just clock to level 3 anyways. And so if that's the case, then the 3-2 Leafa is probably his best card.
On reverse marker.
So he only needs to take 1 more damage here, and then he'll be at 2-6, and he's probably just clocking to 3 at that point. So I kind of agree with him not getting the
one, sorry.
Not getting the
on reverse.
At least like both copies of the Shinon. Like maybe I would have liked to see 1, like maybe the back row Machine of Ice instead of the Asuna Kazuto. But I agree with getting the Leafa. I think getting the Leafa is the right call there.
Yep.
I'm not sure what this Asuna and Kirito is supposed to do, like for him at this point. Like maybe he wants to, I don't know, filter his hand for free. It is costless, and Sven doesn't really have. Oh, he only has 2 stock. He can't play Machine of Ice if he plays the Leafa.
Middle, right, left.
So the 1-0 Asuna Kirito is the best, his best card to protect the
no ability,
the 3-2 Leafa without paying stock.
Okay.
Yeah, and he gets hit to level 3 here, so.
When this goes to waiting room, effect.
Yeah.
Ooh, he sees the Machine of Ice, but he doesn't take it.
If it's relevant. Yeah.
Huh, really?
4 cards in hand still.
Kind of got a clock.
Sad.
This game, man. I actually forgot to ask how much money you blow.
I don't play any.
Never mind. Yeah, I just noticed.
Okay. Yeah. Anyways, sorry, we might have a little bit of a technical difficulty with Ryan here, so I'll try to hold the fort down as we keep going.
Okay. Am I back?
Oh, yep, you're back. You're back.
Sorry about that. My Discord just died. Unlucky.
Oh, unfortunate. Okay, so chat wants us to address the clean cut situation here.
So he clean cut and he tapped his brainstorm.
Yeah.
And chat's saying he has to move it.
That's not true.
Okay, but okay, no, the move is mandatory, right? But the thing is that the move doesn't do anything. So not moving doesn't matter.
But I mean, so the move. Wait,
reread the card really quick. So, yeah. So you have to move it to an open back row slot.
2K, right?
So like, if you tap the brainstorm, you would have to move it over one slot.
Oh, you would have to move
like,
it to the other slot? Yeah.
Yeah, but moving it doesn't do anything, so it doesn't matter, right?
Right. I mean, I guess to be like really technical about it, you do. Like for example, if
maybe if I.
But the thing is, like, I wouldn't even catch this as a judge, right? If I'm like actively judging on the floor and I walk by this board, I wouldn't think about like, oh, did you move your back row with your clean cut? Like, I wouldn't think about it. It's like not really relevant.
If you're trying to provide quality content, it matters.
Oh man, I don't know if this is the right time to talk about this, but people who, I think that kind of argument is very similar to the argument that like if you don't untap all your characters before you draw, you're technically not untapping them, right? It's just kind of like the.
Let's not get into it right now.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I agree.
Both of the players know each other. Like they're both friends. I know that. The moving it didn't actually impact the game state, and this game's been pre-recorded. So let's just keep going and not worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, even if this was a live game, I wouldn't come into like, cause like the thing with active judging is that when you talk into their game, you're like distracting their mental focus. And if it's over something that like doesn't affect the game state, it's actually detrimental. It could like hurt the game. So yeah, that's my opinion as like having judged before. It's like you want to disrupt the players as little as possible because it's a lot of pressure for them.
11-5.
11-5 here. Ooh, okay, so he does have a counter here. That's good. I mean, Christian, I think the kind of like the trademark of Christian's deck is the 5 level 2 counters. Actually, like, what do you think about 5 level 2 counters?
When you play against it, it's like one of the worst things in the world, but it's pretty spicy. Yeah, let's just say that. It's really spicy. Like if Sven was running early plays, I think this match would be going a lot slower because Chris runs 3 anti-change counters. Every single turn you have to be thinking about his anti-change counters. Like Chris, excuse me, sorry. Chris plays 3 anti-change counters so he can bait you into a false sense of security. Because most of the time, if you see 2 anti-change counters in your opponent's bin, you think to yourself, oh, there's no way he has it. Or like he doesn't have it. So you turn your brain off and you just go all in, and then he gets the anti-change value. So because he has 3, he's making his opponent think a lot more. But it doesn't really matter to Sven, so the game's going pretty fast.
Right. I mean, I think that the 3rd anti-change counter is a lot better with like closed deck list. I mean, if it's open deck list, you kind of like know that he has the 3rd one. Yes. But with closed deck list, it actually just completely blindsides you. So I agree. Like if you're going to a tournament and like early plays is the meta, I think 3 anti-change counters is like extremely powerful.
Oh my god, dude! When Yabi and I were playing in Worlds top 8, he tried to do that to me. He kept showing he had 2 anti-change counters.
I know, and if I don't, I'm
and
probably
then he was hiding the 3rd one in his hand, and we played the side wars all like for 3 turns in a row. It was the most frustrating. It was one of the most frustrating things at Worlds.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Sven's getting some pretty good cancels here. I think he needs to keep getting cancels, or this game's pretty over.
Okay, so is that the trigger? That is the trigger. Okay, so he doesn't mill.
Nope.
Okay.
I mean, there's no real point to mill on the rem unless you're trying to empty the deck out, which I don't think he's trying to do here. He seems pretty compressed.
Right.
Takes it to there's a chance Sven can win if he doesn't die here with the stock swap.
Oh, you think so?
Yes. Yabi's deck looks really small. He has a lot of stock. I think just from an eyes or like just by looking at it, it looks like he has equal or more stock than deck size. So I think Sven is trying to bet on stock swap for game here.
No, actually that's still quite a bit of deck. I think.
I mean, I still think the game plan would be stock swap for game.
Right. I also agree. I agree that he needs to go for stock swap. I would pay to. Oh. Yeah. I would have pay 2 for the cancel burn if he gave it.
How many climax are you waiting with?
That's under the assumption that Chris is worried about dying. He's out 2. He triggered 1, so there's potentially 5 in his deck. I do think pay 2 was probably
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
like the pay 2 is pretty marginal there. It's not really doing a whole lot, but it is playing around how you lose the game. So I think pay 2 was correct there.
Yeah, I think not only is it playing around how you lose the game, which is stock swap, it's also pushing like it's pushing important damage at a point where you're already ahead, where like every you pay 2 for your burn and they have to pay 2 to like to either negate that burn or they just take the closer hit to lethal, right? So I think you always push the damage at this point because like again, like what Yabi is ahead on is turns right now. He's ahead like basically a full turn, and so he gets an extra use of that pay 2. Right.
Yeah.
So he can do it this turn, and then he can do it the next turn. So by foregoing it this turn, he's losing that entire turn's worth of damage advantage from that card.
Sven also just doesn't have the resources to like even try to heal down. So pushing as much damage as you possibly can will close this game sooner rather than later.
Next turn?
I agree. Yeah. The only time you wouldn't do something like that is if like you're doing it into like execution or like resurrection or something where like they just mass heal. But as long as you're not playing to a deck like that, then you definitely want to keep pushing your damage. Again, it's a turn advantage. You want to turn your turn advantage into an advantage that actually gets you closer to winning the game. In this case, it would be damage.
Sven's opting to shuffle cards back in. You think that this means he has a drop search in hand? He's just trying to push damage. I think he's just trying to push damage with this play.
Yeah, probably trying to push damage.
I do think the play this turn is going to be stock swap. So you might have a climax, and you might just be trying to Amaki and then grab the cards, or like grab the cards that he shuffled back for a potential next turn. As unlikely as a potential next turn is.
I don't think he has a potential next turn. I think he needs to go for the game right now.
Yeah,
because he's pretty close to refresh. He'll be refreshing the 3/6, and I mean that ReZero deck has so many ways to do small bits of damage.
Opting to play the 2/1. There is the stock swap. Okay.
Yeah, that's good. This is his best chance.
Chris empties the deck out.
Ditching. Ditching a climax. I hope he has another one in hand because he needs a climax still to push the damage.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10
2
cards.
climaxes in that though. Yeah, 2 books.
Is this the deck?
8,
is it almost
9,
the deck?
10. It's almost the deck. He has 3 cards left.
Almost the deck. 3 cards. Okay. Well, hope 4 and 13 mathematically says that there should be 1 in the bottom 3 there. I think, right? Just off the top of my head.
Yes.
How big again?
So I think Yavi is favored to cancel here. So I don't know.
Christian used a rest counter last turn, right? And there's 1 in his clock. I don't think he has rest counter. Oh, he salvaged one back. Oh, never mind.
He hit the brainstorm salvage one back.
So he does have a rest counter here. That's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This game is mighty over.
Yeah. Okay. If he salvaged one back, then then I think it's pretty.
Can I even do it?
I mean, he's gonna. Okay, so he does have the second climax, and he's gonna try, but it's only gonna be 2 attacks here. Oh, actually, yeah, it's gonna be good 2 attacks.
Only 2 attacks.
He has a side. I mean, I think he sides. Yeah, sides here.
4.
Doesn't really change much, but I think the side is good so that Jawbreaker can.
There's the cancel. Yeah. I think that was expected with how the deck or the deck size.
I mean, I think it's just go next at this point. I mean, does Jawbreaker even rest counter actually? Like, I don't know if he can die from.
So if you play the rest counter, the game's just over. If you don't play the rest counter, you're just wasting Sven's time. I think
that is true.
Sven might just like concede or scoop if he rest counters here and just go next because like there's no way to win. Let's see, does Sven just scoop here?
Yeah.
Look.
Rest the other thing.
No? Okay.
I mean,
we're gonna keep playing it out already.
I mean, yeah, I guess there's a little more time to talk about this matchup. So, I mean, obviously this first game just
no 6 actually.
Completely, not in Sven's flavor from turn basically the first turn of level 1. Like Sven's deck just kind of like gave up on him. I guess going into game 2, do you think he'll be making any major changes or I mean?
See, the issues with this game wasn't
surprisingly enough there
at
weren't
least I
actually
don't
that many
think
to hit
was
because
due to like his
poked
decision
into
making.
one
I
and
think
drew
he played
one
the
per
first
turn.
turn fine. His mulligan also seemed fine.
Nice.
Mall 3, he keeps 2
I
cards,
mean,
probably
nothing
keeping
I
like an
can know.
Asuna.
And it's not
Or
it's
both
not like
Asunas,
it makes a
actually, I would
very
assume.
big difference at this
So I think
point.
he just low rolled.
Yeah.
Low rolled on the
Right.
draw.
Right.
Unlucky.
Just take
Like
Yeah,
maybe Sven can just mulligan a bit more aggressively to try to combo here. But like I don't even know if SAO wants to mulligan aggressively for Yuki combo because I don't think Yuki combo wins the game.
I agree.
3, right?
3.
I just think I think what you said before the game started was completely correct. Was that Sven basically wasn't able to completely answer Christian's field at 1, which is it was just like the smallest of not being able to completely answer, and Christian took that basically +1 and just snowballed it for the entire game.
Hit 1, salvaged
another tap counter. That he's just flexing at this point. Ryan, how did you deal with Yavi's deck in Worlds? As Konosuba going into ReZero, you have to aggro. You want to aggro them so they have less time to set up, and then when you're doing your sculpts, you just try to prioritize the anti-change counter or the 2-1.
3 in a draw. Sorry.
That's about it. Yeah, Sven dies here. I expect it.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way. There's like 5 instances of lethal.
Yep. I don't even think I don't even know if he had any climaxes left. Honestly, he had 1. Okay.
Could have just done.
Yeah. There's when Konosuba into ReZero, it's not the best matchup, and there isn't really a whole lot that like you can play around or like you can do to try to negate how poor the matchup is. Besides holding the anti-change counter and then trying to sit on the 2-1 and the Aqua, because by doing so, he's forcing ReZero into awkward positions where they have to side attack into your board to keep their board alive. And then you can try to constantly keep killing cards with the 2-1. That's about it. The other way that you can try to tackle the matchup is you can remove the rem and then let the felt live and let felt quote unquote free farm. And then what you can do is once you get to level 3,
I would go as far as saying,
to turn off tap
despite
counter, and
my
then you just do
games
the
being
Konosuba
terrible,
thing
you were
and super decompress and try to one shot them. That's another way you can try to tackle the matchup. It just depends on how like the early game goes, or how you want to decide what to do.
That rest counter off the top. Like with the book.
Okay, Ryan, I have to make a small amendment to my commentary from game 1. I was wondering why Christian didn't search the 1-0 Reinhardt counter from the free fresh, and the answer is he couldn't because he doesn't run it.
He doesn't play it.
I'm too used to people playing like one copy of it because it's just such a such a flexible grab from the 2-1 free fresh that like I basically assumed it was just a shoe-in as a one of. But he just forgo it.
Sense for how the deck wants to go, but Chris is playing 5 level 2 counters.
Right.
So what's the point of a level 1 counter? Like Chris also plays 1 puck at level 1. Like he's not even trying to wall out a level 1, so the level 1 counter isn't really doing anything.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. But yeah, just quick amendment. Realize that afterwards, looking at the deck lists.
That's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, it would actually be kind of shocking if you searched the 1-0 Reinhardt. We'd be like, wait a second, what deck is this? All right, well,
hopefully Sven has a slightly better opener this game.
It's shocking to me how he somehow fielded triple runner on the first turn of level 1. Like, where were those runners like at level 0? Because he attacked with the brainstorm at level 0, right? So like he didn't have the runner then, and then just all of a sudden just like drew into all 3 runners. Like that's pretty funny.
I mean, I hate this saying, but that's just Weiss, and sometimes it happens, right?
Yeah,
thankfully, the tournament's best of 3, so like the variance is less of an issue.
Yeah, it's just luck of the draw, right? I mean, it's like welcome to card games. I think White Shorts is, I guess, like one of the reasons why I really enjoy White Shorts, having played like so many different card games. I think White Shorts still like hits pretty close to home because of just how often you get to see your cards and like go through your deck. It's just like even if there is some variance, it like through the course of the game, there's like many opportunities you can take to like grab the cards you need, kind of like lower the variance and just like settle in for like something that feels comfortable and stable. I really enjoy that.
like tech cards in Weiss are more impactful than in other games I find, just because of how fast how fast you go through the deck, how easy hand sculpts, and how much hand changes. So like if this was another game, Chris's like quote unquote idea of like triple anti-change counter almost doesn't even matter.
Right.
But
I
like
agree.
because Weiss hand sculpting is so easy and so flexible, like it does actually matter because it's going to be coming up multiple times throughout the game, which
Completely
is cool.
Agree. I mean, Zen starts with the runner here. That's good. Already off to a better start than last game.
So Chris actually had a pretty bad opener. He mauled, I think it was 3. I didn't fully catch it, but he had to field a brainstorm turn 1, which is pretty bad, I would assume. So I think he might actually, unless he has another brainstorm in hand, I think he might want to grab a brainstorm off this Ricky. Opting for Amelia runner. Because he just wants to go aggressive here. His hand's already set.
Yeah.
Especially bad now.
Amelia runner is not the greatest here because if he attacks both, he might hit Sven to level 1, in which case the Amelia runner won't be plussing here.
Like
but if Sven cancels here, that Amelia runner is going to be really good. Because I don't think there's anything in Sven's deck that can challenge it at 0.
Well, Chris might also just want to stock, is the thing. He might be trying to tunnel on it. Like his hand might have like a Ricky and a Brainstorm, and he wants to do both of those effects next turn.
That makes sense.
Clearly gonna miss the runner.
Would you be shocked?
Wait.
Okay.
Yes.
Wait, the Ricky's not bigger, is
Ricky
it?
is no, it is not bigger.
Try to.
It's only 15.
With your runner.
Do you think that's?
Nah, we're running in front of the Ricky.
Yeah, running in front of the Ricky here. Do you feel like this is a little too aggressive?
So.
If he has another Ricky in his hand, it's probably fine, because he can recoup the hand loss that he's making by doing this aggressive tri-lane.
Right. It's a really Sven cancels twice here.
Side.
Yeah, double cancels.
1.
You side, hope for no trigger, no
trigger.
Sven triple
cancels.
Okay.
We're a lot of climaxes. There were a lot of climaxes for you to whiff your.
So remember how I said earlier that like this play was going to be good if Sven cancels a bunch and stays at 0 because he can't actually reverse this runner.
Alright, what do we have?
What is Sven gonna do now? His level 0 game is really not that good. I mean, if he has a clean cut here, that's actually pretty good, right? He can definitely farm at least. Like double clean cut here would be pretty sick, right? Like if he double clean cuts here, that's pretty nasty. I would ideally want to see an Amagi and a Climax too, just to like go through his deck.
I think a Magi plus a Climax with a clean cut is better than double clean cut.
Oh, but he's using his stock here.
Search. He probably doesn't have a clean cut in his hand. I think he's gonna be.
Yeah, he's gonna grab the clean cut then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably good. Yeah, if he's gonna use one stock, it would make sense for him to use it.
He's ditching a Yuki. This hand must be amazing.
Yuki?
Oh my god.
Oh man, that's crazy. I guess like my impression of Yuki SAO is that like you want to basically keep every Yuki because like you don't really need to like do more than one Yuki on every combo turn. So if you have more Yukis, you can just keep looping combo turns as long as you keep getting the bar, right?
So one thing I've noticed about Sven as a player, since this is the second time I've casted him, is he almost always will do the shuffle back on the 0-0 Asuna.
Middle, left, right.
So maybe he might be ditching the Yuki because he intends to field the Asuna next turn and he wants to just shuffle it back to search out with the Yuki he's going to play that turn.
Interesting.
So like by taking that line of play with this deck, the losing the Yuki doesn't matter that much because you're just going to get it back anyways.
Right,
it's fine. That seems fine for how he's playing the deck.
That makes sense. The shuffle back is quite good if you're attacking with the Asuna because it pushes a lot of damage that turn.
No stock. He's probably, if he has a Climax, he probably isn't going to slam it here. So he's going to tie two lands.
He's going to tie the runner?
Oh, feels bad.
Yeah, so right now the clean cut's tying with the Amelia runner. They're both 35. Oh, he is going to slam a pull. Okay. I'm just completely wrong with all my calls.
It's okay. It happens. Cancel. Oh, wait, is it Christian's turn to triple cancel at 0?
3. Let's see. Probably not. Very
okay.
Yeah.
if he triple cancels at 0 too, oh my goodness, that'd be such a funny game, dude.
Who do you think it favors more, staying in or prolonging the 0? Do you think it favors ReZero or SAO?
It favors the player that can draw more clean cuts.
Okay, understandable. Well, looking at Christian's list, he only plays 1 clean cut, so
Oh, well, it looks like it's gonna favor Sven with 4 clean cuts. Yeah, I mean, I think clean cut is one of those cards where it's like super useful at 0, and it just kind of like falls off the cliff in usefulness as the game goes on. So
the demerit is your other characters can't.
If you're stuck at 0, it's the best card.
Right.
Yes.
I find that clean cuts that are big or like have ways to get big still are good going into like level 1-ish, level 2-ish, because you can make like resource efficient plays with them.
Yeah, they're still good, but like compared to the power of the card at 0, it's like it's not even worth comparing almost.
The card's power spike is like turn 1, turn 2 of the game, and then it sort of like falls off into just being a good card.
Whereas I would argue stuff like Mill Runner, it is strong turn 1, turn 2, but it also like it doesn't fall off as much, or like it's not as strong as clean cut, like especially turn 2, but it like
Amelia has a
it basically can always do something ish.
I have to do this, or I don't have the condition.
Yeah, it'll always be a mill 1, whereas a clean cut is just an attacker.
Right.
It's like,
and another thing with clean cuts is that not all decks can support clean cut very well. If a deck wants to have double back row early, then like after your first 2 turns, the clean cut like basically will never save anything because you want to maintain your back row.
Okay.
Oh my god, double Ricky both hit stock souls. Okay.
So it looks like looks like it's Christian's turn to just completely not get what he wants. I mean, those climaxes are going to be stuck there for the refresh, right? Like I don't see a. Well, actually, maybe
honest,
not.
Right now, I can't take either of these games seriously.
Christian likes to hit level 2 on first deck to refresh as fast as he can. So what we might see him do is we might only see him check like 1 or 2 cards per Amelia.
Right. I was gonna say
and then just like take the damage and try to level.
Yeah. I would say that like
lets him refresh.
Yeah, if he mills 4 on these, then like he'll actually like probably refresh with those climaxes. But if he only checks 1 or 2, it's a good chance that he'll like take the damage.
Yep.
I like that. Yeah.
It just depends on what's in his hand. Like if he has the refresh setup in his hand, he would probably want to try to hit level 2 here. But if he doesn't, then I think trying to hit the next deck might be better.
No, I actually don't agree. I actually think you want to level 2 first deck no matter what here, because even if you have a 6 clock compression here, because of those 2 climaxes, it's completely like negated. And anything less than a 6 clock compression is just objectively bad for you, because it's 2 and 6, right? That's actually really bad.
Makes sense. He didn't mill on the Ricky, so I think we're gonna see him check like 1 or 2 cards per Amelia.
Yeah, I would just grab this.
That's a good card. He might check 2. Checks 2.
I would not grab that. I would grab the rim.
I think he stops grabs rim.
He says something about playables, so maybe he doesn't have that many in his hand, but I would still just grab the rim there.
2.
Oh, he would have liked that one, I think.
Yeah, I think he was a little frustrated. That's why he was flinging the card there with his trigger. I mean, it happens. So I think he's going to be the same thing. Oh my god.
Who's that card? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no, I would not take the rim here. He's groaning. He's groaning. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, you can see in his play here, he really wants to be able to hit level 2 on the first deck here. It'd be so bad for him if he doesn't. But I think he's okay checking 1 more. Like I don't think he should have that much cancels left in this. Whoa!
He takes 4 round.
I mean, I guess on hindsight 2020, it's like fine. Okay, hindsight 2020, that was really good play. But yeah. The 2 stock souls in Christian's clock is definitely giving him some issues here. Not letting him play as loose and as effective as he wants this turn to be. I think if you limit the number of checks on your Amelias, it really makes the card like from like good to really bad. It's like it becomes like basically like a reveal top at the hand at that point, which is like it's pretty bad.
Yeah. So quality of the card that you're getting is pretty bad, but he did flip 2 pretty high quality cards, so less of an issue, maybe. So Sven does clock. Probably no way to mill out his deck there.
Okay, he's gonna check 2.
Does this
I
mean
mean,
he
I would
doesn't
expect
have a
him
bar?
to Yuki here if he can, right? But maybe he
I don't
doesn't
think
have a
you would
bar.
play SAO Survivor if you don't have a bar, because you want to try to hold it to try to find the bar on the next turn.
Drops a Yuki?
He has to have 2. He has to have at least 1 Yuki in his hand, and then like an Asuna shuffle back. I think either that or he just doesn't have a bar.
I don't think he has a bar, because if he has a bar, he would not drop Yuki. You would just double Yuki here.
There's the shuffle back.
Or maybe you're right.
I don't know. Like I don't feel like playing the SAO Survivor if you have the CX already does anything, because that card's the most powerful when you use it to get the bar for the second combo turn.
I agree.
At least that's how I look at that card.
Sure.
I agree.
Okay, so he's shuffling back the 2 Egyptian god cards of this matchup, the 2 Unsenons.
Nice.
So I think that means he has 1 Yuki combo. He's gonna search those 2. I hope.
That's so weird. Then maybe he sides with the Asuna, cause like, that's giving Christian a free +1. I don't know. That's weird.
Actually, he can't side because of the drop search, right? Drop search's demerit is other
oh
characters can't side.
shoot! Oh, it's other
Yeah.
characters. I thought it was this card can't side. Oh wow,
No,
he
no,
actually
no.
can't side. Oof.
Yeah. So there's the 1 Yuki. Okay.
Okay, so he has what? I would have double Yuki. Like, would you have double Yuki'd? I would have double Yuki'd.
He's 3 stock. I think double Yuki.
No climax.
Oh, wait, no bar. Oh, okay.
Oh, I mean
there's the
that's
climax.
that's the bar.
Unlucky.
Here's another one.
Oh my god, this game's looking really bad.
Wait, Sven
right
just
now.
confidently pointed to the 4th stock and said that was a bar. So let's keep an eye on that 4th stock and see just if Sven knows his deck that well.
1, 2.
Is he out a lot of climaxes? I haven't at least like seen it or seen him keeping track of it. So like he could have just been not out a whole lot, which is why he like clocked and played SAO Survivor to try to find the bar, and then
Yeah, I don't think it was out that
he
much.
didn't find it.
I don't
Just
think it was out that
expecting
much.
multiple triggers.
Probably. Well, if there was multiple triggers, he didn't trigger that many here.
My turn.
Okay, so I think
Yes.
that play is still. Wait, why would you shuffle back if you didn't have the climax?
Okay, so if he did have multiple climaxes in the deck, shuffling back and decompressing yourself there makes you less likely to trigger a climax, or less favored to trigger a climax.
Right.
So
1, 2, 3.
hard to
But
say.
like, so
I think it depends.
I guess what I'm trying to say here is, after he played SAO Survivor, he had 2 potential Yukis in hand, and instead of like trying to reverse all of Yarbakker's field, he opted to play the shuffle back and like minus in that lane.
How many
Do you think the shuffle back 2 is worth that minus? Like, I don't think so.
1, 2,
personally.
3, 4.
Like, I value being able to reverse my opponent's board every turn very, very high in this game.
Well, maybe Sven is thinking to himself, he's going to refresh next turn anyways. The board doesn't really matter.
1.
And I think
Like giving him that Amelia plus doesn't really matter when he's going to be playing like 2 early plays right now that you aren't going to be able to deal with.
Is Reinhardt in there?
So that could've
Right,
been
but then
Sven's line of thought.
he
But I
doesn't
don't
have
have
to
experience
replace
at
that
0-2,
Amelia
so I
though.
can't
It doesn't matter. It's just a free +1. Like, it wouldn't matter if he had to play over the Amelia. I agree. That's just a wash, right? It doesn't matter if you reverse it or not. But the fact that he doesn't have to play over that Amelia and he just gets to, you know, it's functional. Like, so the thing with Weiss is that +1s are functionally heal ones in the scheme of things, because what you do every turn is after you draw, you usually clock to draw 2, right? And that's what happens is you trade 1 damage for an extra card, right? And so if you can +1 at any given point, that means that you get to not clock and draw like 1 turn earlier. So functionally, you're like, it's 1 damage.
Right. Enter.
Right.
But okay, you're not technically wrong in saying that. But does Chris have to clock there though? That's the thing. Like, Chris is in a position where he doesn't have to clock, so getting that +1 and like quote unquote heal 1 doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Okay. Now it matters.
Okay, he does have the book. Chris is just a good player. That's fine. Wait, he's opting.
Wow.
Oh no, sorry. Sven's board is a little weird for how we're watching this. My bad. So he's opting to get the marker.
Yeah, he is getting the marker. Yeah, Sven is it's kind of little tilted towers right here. Action, just a little tilted to the left, or I guess Sven's left a little too much.
He's up the money.
Oh, he's got a money
here.
Put this back.
That's
interesting.
Really strange. I don't understand why you would money counter there.
He didn't trigger any climaxes after the bar, right? So that doesn't pay out the climax either. So
no, it does not. I don't.
Hey, look, it's the 2 stock souls. They're back.
Okay.
They're like, we have just been set free. That's the third one.
Oh my god.
Wait, is that?
Sven, please don't need 5. Okay.
Okay. You know, he doesn't.
So wait, why would you money counter there?
It seems kind of interesting.
I don't understand. Like, what's the logic behind the money counter there? Like, is Sven actually just completely decompressed and he was expecting to eat a lot of damage, so he money counter to try to stay attuned for another turn?
I mean, if that's the case, why would he shuffle back with the Asuna?
Yeah.
There's so many questions that like all play off of like other plays that Sven has done.
Man, this sucks. I wish we could ask them.
Right?
They have to play so early.
Right.
I mean, they're European players. This is 2 European players playing, and we're casting this at Western freaking evening times. So
yeah, so
this is already a really weird situation.
I think it's like 6 in the morning for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoutouts to all the Europeans that are gonna wake up and watch the VOD. Specifically Ian. Shoutouts to Ian Zhang.
Yeah, big shoutouts. Much appreciated. Yeah.
Okay, why would you money counter there? Like
I don't understand. I don't understand the money counter right there. Cause like that's 3 stock.
Wait,
wait.
Oh wait.
Oh, it was a bar! It was a bar! It was a bar! Oh my god!
Okay. So he money countered to pay out the bar he blind stock. That's galactic brain. Sven's the best player in the tournament.
Oh.
Okay.
That just made my day. Oh, that was so funny. I mean, like, there's still a lot of ways he could have paid out 4 stock, though, right? Like, we see a brainstorm. He plays a climax. It's a Magi. He plays the Shinon. That's another stock. And then if he has a Yuki, he can also pay 1 to climax swap. Or I mean, in this case, it doesn't really matter. Like, he could have paid 4 stock without doing that, but
the thing is if he didn't money counter there, he would have taken the damage and would have refreshed. So it wouldn't be putting the climax back into this deck.
How many level 3
So like money counter there, money counter there, expecting yourself to stay at 2 or at least not refresh during the attack step and put the climax back. I think that's okay.
Yeah, actually that's okay. Like if we add it all up together, I think that's like a play. That's like a line that's not neg, right? But just the money counter by itself as an action, that one specific moment was it felt a little neg. It's still a lot of miscompression though. Money counter plus 3 stock. That's 4 clean cards you're putting back into your deck. Is it worth the climax at that point? I would argue that's not really worth the climax.
When you're behind, having more climaxes is typically better than having less climaxes. Even if it's like not necessarily making your compression better, I would think. Because you just have more instances of cancels.
Okay. Another thing I do want to point out is that since Christian's top end is not climax combo dependent and it's also very small increments of damage, there's really no better turn for him to money counter, right? So like Christian swung with a 2-soul attacker behind a climax. That's actually like one of the best money counterable targets. If you save it for later, you're only money countering for like 2 damage, like at best.
Well, Chris does play the 1 Amelia Restander, so like that is a card that is also an okay.
But if you money like that, the restand isn't tied to the Amelia though, so it still dodges the full effect of the money.
No, that's true. Yeah. That is true. So then another good money counter would be anything that he stacks the cancel burn on. That's perfectly fine.
That's true. Yeah.
Side for enough.
We opted to side the Amelia there.
And front.
He's triple siding.
No, he fronts the
double-sided.
Double-sided? Okay.
Free stock.
That's...
And then Chris immediately pays 3. This is what I was talking about earlier. Chris doesn't care that his early plays die because they generate so much value by staying on the board.
I agree.
So paying, like even though he paid 3 for the felt, he's still gonna go +1 stock this turn because felt stock charges. So like
I see now.
Chris doesn't fall behind by being forced to pay 3. So like SAO isn't actually doing anything to stop him.
Yeah, not having the anti-change counter just basically allows Christian to save his level 3s without any kind of downside. Like he doesn't have to worry about anything. Yeah, I see your point in the game now. It's actually very clear. I think that's like a good sign for like anybody who wants to do well in the ReZero matchup to pack money count or to pack anti-change counters. I think it's really important.
Yes.
It doesn't even necessarily have to be an anti-change counter. It just has to be a way to hard remove them. Like if sorry, excuse me. If Sven was maybe playing like a bottom deck anti-change bomb or like the stock bomb Asuna, he would be in a slightly better position because they do hard remove the felt, so you can't pay 3 encore it. But yeah, Sven's not playing those options.
Yeah, Sven sided the rem, I guess, trying to delay the marker because it doesn't stop the marker, right? Rem's gonna get the marker. Or I guess it technically stops the marker because the rem can move to a different slot to get another marker, but so it delays the mark or stops the marker, but he's behind so much on damage that I don't know if it's worth it.
He might have decided to threaten a counter to keep the Xenon alive. Xenon right now is 85. If he has a 1-0 counter, it goes to 9, 10, 11, 5, which would technically counter over the felt if Christian didn't have the 2-1 support.
If he didn't have the 2-1 support, yeah.
And I don't think Christian has showed the 2-1 support in any of the sculpts he's made, so maybe the side was trying to hedge towards Christian not having it and then threatening a counter on the felt.
It's possible, yeah.
Center, right, left.
Center, right, left.
And unfortunately, Chris has the support, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate.
Triggering a book, he is taking draw.
That's not bad actually, because I believe he didn't clock, right? And he just 3-stocked.
My turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think getting the refill on the hand here with this trigger is not bad. Like he'll be paying out that climax, anyways. And there's like many different ways he can do it. I actually think so. I'm pretty sure. Excuse me. Pretty sure he actually has a 2-1 free fresh. So if he's holding the Soxel, he gets to just pay that out for like.
No, he does. Yeah. He when he got the 2-1 back off with the free fresh two turns ago. So he does have a free fresh ready to go.
Yeah. So if he has the Soxel, then he can just pay out the top stock with the Soxel and then just be in a good position again. Oof.
Okay.
Oof. That's a lot of climaxes. Lifa Shinon. Okay.
Yeah.
So he had the Lifa. He could have also been sided to delay the marker, so that way Rem would be in a position where you could clock kicker potentially. But again, Christian has the 2-1 support, so I think Rem's just too big to even contest.
Yeah, Rem is just too big. Like the moment he got the 2-1 support, Rem is just like super out of reach.
Yep.
Christian with his 5-2-1 counters, like not very likely to beat over that Rem.
I mean, I believe we know Chris has the Priscilla counter. I think he grabbed it off of the Amelia combo last turn. So like Sven knows that he has at least one counter in hand that he has to worry about.
Yeah, I think best bet is just to. Oh, actually, do you think Christian's gonna tap counter this turn? I don't see it. What?
If he has a tap counter here, I think he tap counters because that would seal the game.
You think so?
I do think so.
I think it depends on what he gets to tap. I think if he can tap the Shinon, I would tap the Shinon. But if
I don't think there's any way he taps the Shinon unless Sven misplays here, because he has a side for 1 on the Amelia. Oh, he doesn't have the book combo.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, he does have the book combo. So,
okay,
I would not.
Wait, how much stock do you have?
Well, actually, wait. I would tap here. Oh, if he does this, I would tap. Yeah, I would tap the Shinon basically. If he fronts here, I would tap. 100%.
Yeah, you tap the Xenon and then you solidify how far. No, he is siding. He's sided for 2.
He's sided for 2. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good play. Okay, so now I don't know if I tap. I don't know if I would tap the Yuki here.
So Sven showed multiple climaxes.
Oh, he sided.
Oh, he sided. Oh my god. So I was just about to say Sven milled a lot of climaxes out off of off of the Leafa. So what he might be wanting to do is he might be wanting to like quote unquote compress his deck with the Yuki combo. So by tap countering there, it quote unquote decompresses Sven. And can like take advantage of him milling out at multiple climaxes.
Okay, Sven's sides with the Shinon. I don't think I've ever seen that Shinon side. like in this kind of position. It's just like, what?
Can you even? I guess he had to side there, right? Because he had to resolve the Yuki combo.
I'll side there.
He's not even going for the Yuki combo.
He does it Yuki combo and he sides all 3 lanes.
Stunned.
What's the point of attacking then?
Huh. Okay, let's think about this.
I almost want to pause just to think about this.
He has 1 card in hand. What card in his hand could make him triple side? Like money counter.
Money
right?
counter? But like
money counter doesn't do anything when you're this far
he's
behind.
gonna lose his entire board. Like he committed cards from hand to gain stock.
How many climaxes in waiting room?
Oh, sorry. He paid stock to commit characters onto board to gain less stock than those characters were worth to not even kill his opponent's board. Like he's neg on both stock in hand at this point after that turn.
And 11, 12,
I don't
14.
I don't get it.
If he didn't play his 3/2s, he would have 5 stock. He's neg on stock right now.
How many cards in hand?
And he's gonna lose this entire board.
It is only 1 card in his hand, right?
There is only 1 card in his hand.
Maybe the 1 card in hand could be a
money counter in waiting room.
And then he's
he
trying to
only runs 1/0 counters.
Yeah, but the 1/0
Actually,
1/1/0 counter can threaten Belifa to be big enough to kill whatever attacks into it, right? Even with the 2/1 support. Rem is at 10-5, 11-5, 12, 13-5. Yeah, so by keeping your board alive, let me just double check the lethal condition to make sure I know what I'm talking about. It's 500 for every other. It is 500 for every other.
500 for every
so
other, yes.
by keeping your board alive, it makes the Leafa 11k base, and then if he has the 2k counter in his hand, he counters up to 14k with the Amagi, which does kill one of the cards on the swing. So like maybe he could be trying to play towards that, but then like
actually,
he doesn't attack into the Leafa.
You know what's possible?
I don't. Oh,
maybe he's trying. Actually, never mind. I was thinking like maybe he was trying to like deny the free fresh, which he does do by not doing any damage. But I mean, he also just does not do any damage.
Chris can also just like clock and mill out, which is like, I don't think it matters.
Oh wait, actually no, yeah, that's right. He actually that's what he does right now. He just clocked a mill out. Yeah. Actually, never mind. I had no idea.
Brainstorm. How many cards in his deck
now? He's a few cards away. Still needs a mill 1, 2.
He just needs he needs 3. To mill 2 cards. So he just needs 1 brainstorm, or he needs a 1/0 Amelia that checks top 2.
Oh yeah, I see. Okay, yeah, 2 cards, 2 more cards in here. Oh, maybe he doesn't have it.
Yeah, looks like he doesn't have it. So maybe that's what he's doing.
I still can't. I'm still trying to figure out the side 3 turn. Like, it's just so neg, right?
Oh wait.
Overplay. Ricky.
Overplay.
Oh, he's gonna Ricky here? Wait. That
Ricky
level.
Free fresh. It does mill 2 cards. But okay. I actually think this is a good play. Okay, hear me out.
Really? Okay. Please explain.
Excuse me, sorry. So by forcing a free fresh here, his front row is going to be double felt plus a rem. Okay? We know Chris has a tap counter in hand. If Chris's board is double felt plus a rem, how does Sven kill him next turn? Behind the tap counter.
Left,
he
right,
doesn't,
center.
Right?
No.
I think so. He is gonna free fresh here. I'm almost fairly certain. And by free freshing, he's creating a board. Brainstorming. I think he might just be trying to get extra cards here. I think he has a climax in there. 1 climax, 2 climaxes. Yeah, he's just trying to get extra cards. That's fine. But okay, so by free freshing here, he's creating a board that can't be that can't. Sorry, words are hard. He's creating a board. He's creating a board that can't be played around with the tap counter. So he's creating a situation where he can't die next turn.
Right.
Yep.
I see what you're talking about.
Check 1.
Except.
Wait. What the huh?
Okay, so I see what you're talking about.
2, 3.
Except that's not what happened.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay. I've just been wrong all night tonight, huh?
3 anti-chain.
2 anti-chain.
Huh.
So would you like to
Actually,
take all
maybe
that
just
back
one.
and say that you would not have played the Riki
No,
there?
2 anti-chain.
Okay, no, let's think about it. Why did he Riki there? Why did he Riki there? There has to be a reason. Okay, so maybe he didn't have the stock soul to free fresh, right?
Right.
So by Rickying, he can mill out the deck to hit level 3, and then he can just hard play another Felton.
Sorry, I'm just.
And then it
hearing what
creates
my
the same
roommate
sort
is
of
saying
board
in the
situation
kitchen.
that where Sven will always have to run into a tap counter. Maybe. Let's see if he
Maybe
hard plays a
someone
3. If he
watching
hard
this
plays a
game.
Felt here, I think that's what he was going for.
But you know, you can do that without playing the Riki.
Center, right, left.
Maybe he was
Center, right,
digging
left.
for stuff. Did he
This
have
is
the mill?
card added
So,
on the
so here's the
check,
thing though. He grabbed the Betty Brainstorm off the Ricky, right? So maybe he didn't
Right.
have the mill in his hand.
Oh,
Is the thing.
possible.
Brainstorm, refresh point. Okay.
Refreshes a climax. I think that's still fine.
Not the greatest, but yeah, I think he's still okay. All right,
Overflow?
hard play Felt
Felt?
3-2 then.
Amelia.
Is he going for game?
I'm gonna stop commentating now. You just take it away.
Off kicker is 11.
Brains of EU
14K
players
with back
are
up,
too
and I
mighty
killed
and
it.
vast to comprehend for my small
I'm
North American
11,
brain.
5, 35.
You want me to commentate, but I'm still
Still
stuck on the
10K?
triple side turn, Ryan. I don't understand.
Okay, no. No, never mind. I was gonna say technically this does the same thing, but he's one stock short of a tap counter. So
Yeah,
because
he doesn't
matter.
Yeah, no, I mean he played the Amelia. He's going for the restand. Like he's not gonna have any stock.
Front.
Yeah.
Chad is saying maybe he was digging for the stock soul.
13-5.
How does that play dig for the stock soul though?
He
The only way
Ricky
that would
for like maybe he thought he had another one. No, he had both 1-0 the Amelia check top twos in waiting room. He can confirm.
Yeah, I was gonna. The
Yeah.
only way that play would be to dig for a stock soul is if he thought he had a 1-0 in deck.
But he didn't. They were
Which
both
he
in bin.
didn't. Like
Yeah.
okay, so
Marker?
how because he brains.
Take the puck.
No.
No.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't know. I'm gonna stop.
Yeah, no. He didn't Ricky he didn't Ricky into it because they were both in the bin. What he did was he Rickied into brainstorm. He brainstormed and he salvaged 2 from the bin. Yeah.
He had to have known that they were both in the bin. Like there's no way you would make that play without double checking your bin to make sure that there's one in the deck.
Front.
Yeah.
So I'm very confused here. He's gonna stock the felts. Oh, because the puck's already been paid out. Okay.
Yeah, the puck's there.
Makes sense. Amelia's paid 2 on reverse, right? So
Correct.
he can't go for the cancel burn.
Yeah,
pay 2 ditch 2 or pay 2 ditch 1 sack 1. Yeah, so
Yeah, no cancel burn.
Super's not doing anything here.
Wait, no, he can. He hasn't triggered yet.
Oh no, you're right. Yeah, so you can't go for cancel burn.
Yeah,
Do you think
yeah,
he
he can.
does go for cancel burn?
I
Cancel
would,
burn
yeah.
doesn't really-
I mean, he's pushing for game. I would definitely do it.
Right.
Cancel
left
burn for
center.
1. They go to 3-3. You swing for 2 with Amelia. You swing for 2 with puck.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
would
guess.
also
Yeah,
give
that
the
is
cancel
legal
burn
right
to the felt as well, because the reason why is the
Felt
Amelia
would
gives him
like
the
a
memory
shot,
kick
man.
option,
If it's
so
not
his felt
shot.
can do
How much
his
stock
felt
do you
can
need
do
for the
2,
reverse?
1. His felt can
2
do 1
So
or
I
2
can still
damage
restand.
based
Yeah,
on the memory kick.
I
Yeah.
was just like doing the math based
4?
on that. So it triggers the stock soul anyways.
Okay.
But yeah, like if he gives the cancel burn to the felt, no matter what damage sticks with felt, he has guaranteed, or he has quote unquote lethal setup
Right.
with the puck.
Yeah, and the memory kick. He can do like 1 or 2 damage, no matter what his
Okay,
opponent's
Sven's
board
thinking here.
setup
So
is.
the one card in hand that we forgot about because Chris's turn took like 18 minutes. It has to be money counter, right?
It has
It's
to
the
be
only
money,
reason
right?
you
There's
make
no way. There's no way you make that play without your last card being money.
Money counter doesn't win the game though. Is the thing.
Not only does it money counter win the game, it actually just kind of hard loses him the game. anyways,
Thinking.
because you're at one stock with 2 back row and no hand.
Yeah.
Like
you lost your entire
what?
front row as well.
Yeah, you're not gonna. This isn't Gochiusa. You can't just play a climax and just summon 3 Coco from memory, right? Like you need to have the resources to like play your end game.
Yeah. So he is opting the money
Okay, it
counter.
was the money counter. Yeah, so as we correctly assumed.
Is that the
That's
first
just
correct guess
such a weird.
that we made?
This goes stuck. Front.
Okay, so here for 2. Let's see if he
4.
triggers. He doesn't trigger.
No, yeah, 2.
Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be 2. And then if he doesn't cancel here, I would memory kick here,
On reverse,
and then also
memory
restand.
kick.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah, no, because your
Wait,
feld's
you
more
have to
useful.
Something else.
Wait, what?
You have to sack another character,
Play
don't you?
over anything.
Let me just make
Oh, really?
double check.
Okay, yeah. I guess he just stacks
if
the
you-
back row then.
And yeah, you have to
So
sack another
direct
character, but you
for
can play
two.
you can play the puck on
4.
top of the Amelia.
Yeah.
Okay, another stock will trigger for 4. Wait, that's
Oh
game.
my goodness. But I mean,
Oh.
it is lethal, but it's 1 over.
3. Cancel.
Oh, cancels on 4. Okay.
Okay, but now so here is the real issue. Like, how
Sven
is
doesn't
Sven
have
gonna
anything.
do
He has
6
to-
damage?
He has the top deck.
He has top deck
He
and
has to
6
clock.
damage, but he can't even play a 2-soul beater. He needs a climax.
Climax plus a playable.
He needs a
How many
climax and a
climaxes
playable, and then Yabi needs to
I think
take
2.
all 6.
No, 1.
Yeah.
1, 2, 1 in clock and 1 in stock.
Yeah.
5.
Yeah, this situation is looking mighty grim.
So, shuffle
Wait.
back.
Okay. Okay, that's
Wait.
good. You shuffle back soul triggers.
Soul triggers 100%.
Yeah, you have to.
Triggers.
1 soul trigger, 2 soul triggers. Yep.
Wait.
Makes
He doesn't-
sense. Makes sense.
Maybe he doesn't
Because
need to play a climax then.
No,
What if he
I
just-
think playing a climax is still correct if you have it. So-
I'm saying he doesn't have to now. If the last card in his hand is a climax, he still 100% plays the climax. But
Yeah. Like by playing the climax, it presents two instances of lethal compared to 1.
2, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Level 2.
ooh, puck is level 2. I would play the. Well, actually, I guess it doesn't really matter. No, yeah, no, I
Just
would
so
play
chat
if he doesn't have. Yeah, I would play the Asuna in front of the puck just in case. Like if he has
Just
a
so
climax.
Chad
here.
understands the logic here. By shuffling the soul triggers back, he's making himself favored to trigger, or quote unquote favored to trigger. So his swings are going to be for 3. Yabi's at 3-1. He needs 6 to stick. So by swinging 3-3-3, it's 2 instances. There's 2 instances of lethal. Whereas if he's swinging 2-2-2, it's only the 1 instance of lethal because it's
Okay.
only just plain 6 damage plus minus triggers.
Last would
So like it's better to present multiple instances of lethal.
It's a deal 6,
Is
right?
this? Oh, is this string buffering? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I don't know if it's my computer just not having the specs to do this, but yeah, sorry about that inconvenience.
Hopefully it's been watchable at least.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, the VOD should at least be 100% okay. Hopefully.
I don't know how you do
It's a climax.
Oh, it is a climax. Oh, my
Oh
god.
my goodness. Okay, wait. So as I was saying, I
on.
think the Asuna should have been in front of the puck because it's a 3-soul attacker here, and so if he like,
It doesn't really change.
if he
anything. I mean, I guess it changes.
if he,
you
like-
somehow survive.
Side for 1 doesn't
You have
matter.
1 more card in
I,
hand.
there's
No,
no way that he
it
can put
can.
More
If he-
thinking
Possible
about
survive.
more thinking about soul
If he
triggers
triggers
here. Let me count
and
real quick.
sticks
it
a
doesn't-
4,
It doesn't really
he
matter.
could try to cipher 2.
That's right.
How does he stick a 4
You don't
though?
roll your soul trigger.
That's what I'm
for
saying, it
your
doesn't matter.
non-triggers.
Yeah, I would like to mill my
Oh, wait,
non-triggers,
never
that's why
mind,
I'm
it doesn't
counting
Yeah,
on the
there's no way to
soul
stick a
triggers
4,
I
so it
actually
doesn't
have in
actually
my deck
matter.
right
Like
now.
if he had 2 soul beaters on board, then that would
Oh no
be
no 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 no
correct,
no
but-
no! If he does 2-3, and then Yabi doesn't cancel, he can cipher 1.
Oh, sure. That works.
Yeah. There we go. I was like, there's. I think there should be a way. Yeah. So I think the Asuna should be in front of the puck here.
Maybe Sven's in full tilt mode from how the series has went. He didn't even think
I
about
mean, this
it.
is
He didn't
pretty
even consider
crazy. Yeah. Like he definitely hasn't had like great hands as we've seen. Every time we call like the line that we'd like to see, and Sven just completely plays something else. It's like whoops, no climax, no Yuki, doesn't get to reverse board, just rough. Okay, 3 damage here.
Soul Trigger's paying off. Hopefully it sticks.
Cancel.
Oof, cancel on 3. That's really good.
So
Okay.
Yabi's out 4 now.
Right, front for 3
Nice.
here.
Front?
4 in
Keep it
deck.
exciting.
Yeah, front
Front for 3 here. Front for 3. Okay.
2, 3. Yep.
So he needs a trigger on the last card in order to. Oh, is this? Oh wait, no. I mean, there's no counter here that does anything. Never mind.
I'm not even sure what I was thinking about.
Maybe Chris was like thinking about the sack counter.
Ooh, cancel. Oh, is that okay? Oh, and Sven
Sven
scoops. Yeah. Okay.
For 6.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Wow, those were 2 really fucking garbage games.
Yeah, that was.
I think you played around the tap counter a bit too much at level 2 because I was.
That was
like,
really
after
interesting.
I just triggered, like milled 4 climaxes basically.
I didn't get anything though. Like,
Man, like.
it's similar to
so like
previous games.
So like, okay, I'm gonna be real honest with you here,
There was
Ryan.
one,
like I thought that was a really high number, but
like,
watching these games play out, I like kind of see what you
Yuki,
mean.
but at the
Like,
same
there's
time,
so
I
little that
hadn't
Sven
got
can
that.
do starting from level 2
My only card
that if he
in hand
doesn't
was
just
one.
like completely like blow away 0 and 1, which is already pretty like 50-50 in this matchup.
Card in hand, right?
Like he's just gonna lose the
to
game
keep the
starting
money.
level 2.
Yeah, I think the out for book bar SAO is
For
high
some reason, I
rolling
thought you
Yukis
had
on
the
first deck. Like
character-
it all
I think
doesn't
I
matter,
had to
but
clock it
Sven
at some
wasn't
point.
able to do that in both games.
maybe.
So the wall
Yeah, I think I
that Christian
clocked it
built
for
and
and
made
then healed it off with
the wall that
15,
Christian
because I had,
built,
like, labels
I was
because
gonna try to make a
games were
Trump
just
joke,
going
but I
so
realized it
poorly.
wasn't gonna stick. So I
The
had
end
to
was
Yeah.
just
take
afraid,
there.
like I had
Yeah.
I had 3 climaxes left.
It's
but
okay,
then
it's
just
okay.
attack 3 times.
Okay, so
Instead,
one
you
of
just
the ones in the
cancel
first
and
game, and then
cancel.
he played the
Yeah, instead I
Yuki
just
with the bar in the
double
second
trigger
game at
off
level
new
3,
deck,
but he
take 1
didn't
as refresh
combo.
damage, and then double cancel.
So he literally only comboed once the entire
I
series.
think that was
Yes.
very well deserved.
Memory's correct here.
That's
That is,
pretty. That's pretty
that-
yikes. Yeah.
That is
This
how
guy,
book bar
The biggest
loses.
sack I
That
know.
deck doesn't
Yeah.
result Yuki's over and over and over
Maybe
again.
not
The
big
deck doesn't
second,
do
but These
anything.
games were kind of lucky.
Yeah. I mean,
Which
Yuki
is,
combo is really
I think
strong.
if
like,
anything,
being
they
able to
were
search
just
2
really
is just
unlucky.
it's just really good, right? So
I mean, sure,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
money count, the rest counter on top.
wow.
Powerful combo when it works.
Yeah, that
one of
was
the worst
pretty
combos in the
lucky.
game when it
Rest
doesn't
counter
work.
is also just really good
Yeah.
against the SAO in general.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Because of the Sinon
Um,
clause.
and a little unfortunate
Yeah.
too,
And I
because
mean, I don't
I think
have
a
a
lot
whole-
of times
I
he
don't
had
have
the
a lot
bar,
of
just
tools
didn't have the
against-
Yukis,
You have
and then
the
other
machine
times
of
he'd have the
eyes.
Yukis, not have the
basically.
bars.
No, I
Just
mean
kind
in
of like
general against your.
not really
Yeah,
like
against
just
the
like
level 2
always
bar,
missing
yeah.
one sock or one shoe, you know.
It's really annoying.
Yeah.
And if you fall behind,
Unfortunate games for Sven.
Kind of hard to recover because normally,
To be honest, even if he did resolve the
normally,
Yukis,
even if you can't really
just
deal
based
with
on
the
how
board, you can just like
how Christian's games were
crash,
going in
swing
a
and
vacuum,
crash
I
and
don't think it
wait.
would have really mattered in the long
Yeah,
run
Cancel it.
because Christian like played
But-
Looping Yuki.
Yeah,
hit the
but I
ReZero
could-
game
did
quote
I
unquote
even-
perfectly
did I
and like
Yuki
did the thing
once
ReZero
this game?
does
I don't
really
think
well
so.
every single
No.
turn once he hit level 2
Uh,
both games.
I think I did one
Which,
in the
like,
previous game.
puts
That's about it.
puts SAO in like a pretty
Yeah,
bad
you
spot no
ditched
matter
a
what.
bunch of
it's
Yukis,
tough
and
to
then
say.
the turn afterwards you got the bar.
Yeah, I had
Or
one
you
climax.
did
Very tough
one
to say.
Yuki and
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
the
still,
Yuki in
I
the
still
Well,
have
sure,
more-
well,
yeah, I still have more in
so,
my hand. But
Looks
I
like
didn't have a
Christian moves
bar.
on to the next round. Do you know what who's I think his
Yeah,
opponent will
first
be
game- First
Broderick?
game I was
Broderick.
out.
Yeah.
six
Broderick.
climax
So,
turn
yeah,
2, and
so
second
next round he's
game
going to
I
be
was
playing
out, 5
Broderick. It is
climax turn
another
2.
strictly broken versus strictly broken matchup.
That's like the one thing that I
guess
like
since we
about
can't
playing
talk to
this
the
deck,
players
you
in
don't
post-game
really
and ask
care
them their
if you're out
thoughts.
a
What do
lot
you
of
think about the
climaxes
ReZero
early,
Goblin
if you
Slayer
just get
matchup?
to level 2,
ReZero Goblin
whatever,
Slayer. It's gonna be kind of
Just
interesting.
refresh.
So actually, I was fortunate enough to cast
you can
Broderick's
just
game
stabilize
yesterday
there.
with Tom on this
Mhm.
channel.
Which is
That was
basically what
really
happened
it
the
was really
second
interesting.
game,
Just seeing his
because I
play
retreated
style.
into the
His deck is very
Yep.
toolboxy,
Yeah.
right? And there's a lot of different
Alright, let me
a
stop
lot of different
recording.
like cards he's running for different matchups and stuff like that. However, a lot of it like I don't think really matters against the ReZero deck because the ReZero is really playing solitaire. So actually, like kind of both decks are playing solitaire for like most of the game. So there's not too much like interaction. It's kind of like whoever gets their level 2 setup, their early play setup first, I guess, has the advantage.
Yeah, I was just going to say, what does ReZero do if Broderick drops triple Priestess before he can free fresh?
Yeah,
Nothing,
it's really bad. Yeah, at that point, I think like ReZero just passed turn, and then like hopes that both players really want to hit level 2 like as fast as possible. So I wouldn't be surprised if like both players just like slam Rikis to get Rikis and just like clock themselves to.
Broderick's only running 2 Rikis.
Right, he's
compared
only
to
running 2 of the Riki.
Christian's 4, so like he's
Yeah.
already losing in that aspect as well.
Yeah,
It's
but then
really
but the
tough to
Rikis
say.
require stock as just possible, and then just like trying to set up their level 2 board, and whoever sets up first just has like the insurmountable advantage.
He can, or Chris can fall back on the Reinhardt.
Right, I think that's gonna be the first time Chris has ever wanted to play that Reinhardt in this.
I don't think they have like a way to fall back on it, or like they don't have a card that they can fall back on like ReZero does. So like that might push the matchup into ReZero favor.
3 and then proceed to set up at 3, because
but if the priestesses are small though, so like fronting into the early plays is tough because he can just play the counter raw and big die.
Yeah, but well, actually, so what I think is like if you set up at level 3, you don't need to oh, I guess it depends on how much of the board like Christian have, like Sword Maiden to pump 15. And then like you'll be able to get over like 1 reasonably, and then maybe the second one, or like force a counter, and then at level 6 they can try to set up for like a triple priestess turn on the following turn. They can actually it's actually possible they could actually just hard gate scroll. You can't hard play it. Unfortunate. Okay, yeah, but I do think that they probably have a better shot like setting up at 3, instead of at 2 if they hit 2 second.
Well, I think we talked about this enough. Do you want to wrap things up?
Yeah. Okay. So I guess yeah, just to close it off. So yeah, once again, congratulations to Christian. He'll be moving on. Unfortunately, Sven will be. So yeah, and then I just want to give a shout out to NovaTCG for sponsoring this tournament. This is the first time I've done the NovaTCG shout out. How does it go again? Yeah, they're like a really great place to get your Japanese white shirts singles here in the States. Yeah, so go check out the store. They've donated generously and given us, I believe, $100 to the winning prize pool. I think so. That's the event. Happen and exciting. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't think there's any other announcements. I believe there will be a game. Wait, Ryan, aren't you playing a game tomorrow?
Yep. I am playing Davide for the winners bracket tomorrow. Games should be at 4 o'clock EST, which is I don't know what time zone Davide is in, but it's at 11 o'clock at night for him for the Europeans. Come check that out. It should be a fun game watching me get destroyed by Cardcaptor.
Do you have anything you want to say about the upcoming match?
I'm Canadian. I'm too nice to trash talk.
Aw, what a sweet soul. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Well, yeah. Is there anything else you want to say before we wrap things up?
You shout out NovaTCG. Just quick shout out. My sponsors, Strictly Broken, best place to play English singles for North America. Yeah, and that's about it.
All right. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you guys